and welcome aspirant to another class of art and culture. Today we will discuss about Buddhist art and architecture. Well guys, we will be discussing about the stupas, the chaityas and biharas, and we will take a look at them. And before we go ahead guys, see, this is a structure. What structure? It's a chaitya guys, but which one? It's a very famous one. If you don't know, you should know, and if you know, go in the comments right now and tell me what place it is, which chaitya it is. And before we begin the class guys, there is an info for all of you. So there is a mentorship program for TSPSC 2025-2026 student, one-on-one live mentorship by Deepika ma'am. And guys, if you are really interested and if you are a serious aspirant, I believe you should call in these numbers and get the information. Along with that, we have the batches running for TSPSC Group 1 as well as for TSPSC Group 2. If you want to get the free demo classes, call on the numbers given below guys, and just check it out. So let's begin our class. We are going to discuss about Buddhist art and architecture. As the name itself suggests, the art and architecture will revolve around Gautam Buddha, the same Gautam Buddha who is known to be the one after whom Buddhism got started. Okay, so, and if we talk about Buddhism, we have three different sort of, or you can say sometimes to make you confuse, it is asked that stupas, chaityas and biharas, are these structures the same? What sort of differences are there? What are the things that we should know about them? We will see here. Okay, so first and foremost we are going to see about stupas. What are actually the stupas? Well guys, when you see this word stoop or stupa, in itself it means guys a heap. Okay, it's a Sanskrit word, stoop, dher, okay, a mound, whatever you want to call it. So it's a dome shaped structure built to house Buddhist relics. Okay, so after the death of Buddha, whatever the relics were left, okay, those are the relics are kept preserved inside there. Okay, these are the remains of Buddha and sometimes also of his disciples. Okay, earlier when the stupas started to get built, they were just some burial mounds. Okay, just some burial mounds who were just made like this. You can see, if I'll just make this pic a bit enlarged for you. Yes, you can see over here, this is a simple structure they will make. Okay, and you can see also a difference. The first one you see, that's of during the duration of Asoka, and the second one you see that's during the duration of Sungas. What is the major difference that you see over there? Okay, what is the major difference? If you see, there are some ornamental differences, and this boundary wall, this Vedika that you are seeing here, that is the major difference that you can see. Anyways, coming back to our slide, we'll just see guys exactly what this stupa is all about. Okay, how this stupa structure is. Sometimes related to the stupa structure you get questions. Okay, what the harmika is, what the chhatra is, what the torans are. Okay, we are going to see them in detail. So let's get started. I'll just make a drawing, okay, and try to make you understand. First and foremost guys, take this. Supposingly it should have been round. Okay, so this cylindrical structure that we have over here, this is called medhi. Okay, this will be called medhi. Here in the middle of this medhi, we will have a pot. Okay, this pot over here, this pot will have some relics. It will have some relics of Buddha, some remains of Buddha. Okay, So this is the Medhi, this is the relics of Buddha, and upon this there will be a mound. Okay, this dome like structure is called and. Okay, this dome like structure that we have over here, this will be called and. So first we have the Medhi, the platform. Above the platform we have this relic kept over here, and then this is covered. This is altogether covered. Normally these are covered with the help of bricks. Okay, inside we have the bricks. Okay, unburnt. Most of the time these are unburnt bricks, and outer layer will have the burnt bricks. Okay, so this is the first three structures you have understood. At the top of it, guys, we will have a rectangular structure at the top of it. Okay, this rectangular structure is called Harmika. Okay, this is like an abode for Lord Buddha. It's a place where at the top it is kept, that's why. And in this Harmika we will have Chhatravali. Okay, there will be a pole, and in this pole we will have 3 umbrellas. Okay, we will have 3 umbrellas. Okay, I'll make the third one at the top also. Okay, for your understanding. Now see, there are 3 umbrellas only. Okay, and these are called Chhatravalis. Chhatravalis. Chhatra, that's the umbrella in Hindi. Okay, Chhatravalis or Chhatra comes from those umbrellas. This also denotes, guys, 3 Ratna of Buddhism. 3 Ratna. What were the 3 Ratnas of Buddhism, guys? You might have heard in movies or might have heard in the chantings also. Buddham Sarnam Gacchami, Sangham Sarnam Gacchami. Okay, and the third one you tell me in the comments. Okay, the 3 Ratnas, Buddha, Sangh and Dham. Okay, Dhammam Sarnam Gacchami. So these are the 3 Ratnas. So this is what a stupa is made up for. Now my drawing is not that very good, but I have tried to make you understand. Along with this you will have a Pradakshina Path. Okay, along with this you will have a Pradakshina Path. So Pradakshina Path basically means the people will take the round. Okay, and this outer boundary, which differentiates the inside and the outer world. Okay, this will be called guys Vedika. This is called Pradakshina Path. Okay, Pradakshina Path. Okay, so this will be the path where the devotees will come and they will take a round. Okay, that's part of their praying process. Okay, and one last thing you should know, now when we have come this far, you will have gateways. You will have gateways from all 4 sides. You will have gateways from all the 4 sides. Okay, east, west, north, south, from all the sides you will have the gateways. And these gateways, guys, these gateways are actually decorated. They will have the uniconic figures related to Buddha. Okay, there will be lotus, there will be elephant and all decorated. These are called, guys, torans. These are called torans. Okay, so just to make things a little more understandable than my drawing to you, I just like to enlarge this. Okay, just see, guys, if you can understand. This is the Medhi. You can see this structure, this yellow structure. This is the Medhi. Okay, this is the platform where it is kept. Inside it the relics are kept. Okay, and then this is the und. You can see this dome like structure. This is the und. Okay, at the top of the und we have the hermica, the rectangular structure which is called the abode of Lord Buddha, where he has a place of himself. At the top of that we have the chhatra spire, these three ratnas we were talking about. Okay, and on that we have the enclosure wall, the vedika we were talking. This is the wall which separates the stupa from the outer world. Okay, this acts like a boundary. And then the last one, this is toran. This is the toran, guys, that we were talking about. This is on all the four sides. Okay, so I hope so now at least these nomenclature will be identified. If it gets asked in the exam, guys, you will be able to identify with the help of this stupa and also with the help of this stupa that I have created. Nonetheless, if you have understood, well, there is one more thing to the stupas that you should know, guys, and what that is. See, in this chart we are seeing earth, water, air, fire and ether are related to the stupa. Okay, a symbolic form of architecture, like we do the pran pratishtha in the mandir of the idols. In the very same way, they talk about the integration of the elements as chakras in the human form. So we have some of different countries representing it in different ways. If you would have heard about the chakras in our body, okay, we have the Mooladhara chakra at the bottom. Okay, above that we have the Manipur, then we have the Anhata, then we have the Visuddha, then we have the Sahasrara, and then we have the other chakras. Okay, so here also we, in the very same way, in Japan, if you see, the down part is called the earth, then we have the circular part. Okay, the down part which was like a square, and then we have the circular part as water, then above that we have the fire, and then the air, then the ether. That is how they denote it in Japan. Okay, some abstract form elements if you see, then we have the cube and sphere and cone, and then you have the drop cup and flaming. In Tibet, if you see, guys, it represented with the color yellow, and then you have white, then you have red, and then you have green. If you try to understand, yellow represents the earth, white represents the water, red represents the fire, guys, and the green represents the air or ether, whatever you want to take in that way. In India, just now we have seen this Medhi. This is the platform. Above that we have the relics are kept here inside the and or the garva. Then we have this dome like structure which is called the and. At the top of that we have the hermica. At the top of that we have the chhatravalis or the kunta, as it is stated over here. Okay, so this would have made it clear what a stup actually is. A stup is a mound like structure, a dome like structure, where we see that remains of Gautam Buddha were kept. Okay, now let's see chaityas. What are the chaityas? And I also asked you about one chaitya. Chaitya is a Buddhist prayer hall with a stupa. Okay, it's a Buddhist prayer hall where there is a stup at the end of it. The first one, stup, was what? Mound like structure, dome like structure, where you have kept the remains of Gautam Buddha. But a chaitya is a Buddhist prayer hall. Okay, so what are the features of it? We will have the rock cut architecture, round apse of the back and high voltage ceilings you will have. Okay, and then you will also have the Pradakshina path over here. Karle Chaitya in Maharashtra is one of the finest example. I asked you about that picture. Okay, this picture is of Karle caves only, guys. It is of Karle caves, and here if you can see, this is the stup at the end of this chaitya. This is the stup, and then we have the hallway over here. Okay, and then here if you will see it, where the pathways are starting, here you will have a lion pillar. Okay, here you have a lion pillar. You can also see here, guys, if you can see, yes, this one. This is the lion pillar I am talking about. Okay, and then you will have another pillar here at the entrance, and this is the stoop. This over here, if you can see, this is the stoop over here. Okay, so this is the sectional view where you cut it from the middle and you try to show it. So this is a chaitya. Chaityas were what? They were the prayer halls. Okay, now we will talk about biharas. What are biharas, guys? Biharas were monasteries or residential halls. Monasteries or residential halls for whom? For the monks, for the Buddhist monks. Okay, what was the structure? Initially simple halls with cells around a central hall. Okay, you will have cell like structure. The rooms will be created, later evolve into more complex structure with sculptural embellishments. We have Ajanta caves contains several beautifully decorated biharas. So normally there was at the ancient time also, and nowadays also you will see that the 4 months, the Chatur Mas, they say, the Buddhists, where they stay at one place. For that purpose these biharas were created, because in the rainy season, that Chatur Mas, it's very difficult to travel, so that is why they choose to stay. Now we'll see, guys, few of the major Buddhist sites, and you should know about them. Question might get asked from there. So we have Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh, we have Bharut in Madhya Pradesh, we have Amravati in Andhra Pradesh, and we have Nagarjun Konda in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, there is one, the oldest stoop that we have. Tell me where it is, in which part of India? Piparwaha. Piparwaha is in which part of India, or in which state in India? Okay, let's see about Sanchi, guys. So this is the Sanchi Stoop in Madhya Pradesh. It was built by Ashoka in 3rd century BC. Okay, it has 4 intensely carved gateways, that is the torans, added during the Sunga period. Guys, these torans were not, generally you will not see the torans while the Ashoka's period. The torans, the Vedikas and all, the more decorative forms and all, okay, these are added while the Sunga period or the later Ashokan period. You will see rich carving depicting Jataka tales and events from Buddha's life. Jataka tales have the stories of Buddha's previous lives. They have the stories where you have the animal stalking and all those stories. Okay, and also the stories related to Buddha's life we have. That's the Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh. Then we will see Bharut in Madhya Pradesh. This was built, guys, during the Sunga period, 2nd century BC. Famous for the stupa is famous for its railing and gateways, as you can see. Okay, actually one thing more I forgot to tell you, the stairs. Okay, if there are any stairs, if there are any staircase or stairs, those are called sopana. Those are called sopana. Okay, in the stoop for the pradakshina path, if there are stairs, those will be called sopana. Significance where what? So transition from symbolic and iconic to iconic representation of Buddha. What does this means? Buddha was not represented in his human figure. Okay, he was represented through symbols like lotus, like you will have elephants, like you will have other symbols, but not in human form. But iconic means he'll be represented in his human form also. So that's in Madhya Pradesh. Then let's see Amravati in Andhra Pradesh. Looks beautiful. Period is Satavahana and Ikshvaku period. That is the 2nd century BCE to 3rd century CE. Famous for a large Mahastupa. Okay, richly carved panels that we can see over here. Important center for Mahayana Buddhism. Now also remember this. What is the difference between Mahayana and the Hinayan? And these questions gets asked. So we'll discuss this. But this is not the part of art and culture, rather it's a part of history. Okay, so in those classes we'll discuss definitely about it. Nagarjun Konda in Andhra Pradesh, you can see it flourished under the Ikshvaku dynasty, 3rd and 4th century common era. Biharas, Chaityas and Stupas were there. Sculpture depict Jataka tales and scenes from Buddha's life. And we have the key Buddhist learning center and a hub for, again, Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, now let's see about the Ajanta caves in Maharashtra. The period is 2nd century BC to 6th century common era. rock cut caves we find over there. We find the chaityas and biharas over there. World famous mural paintings are there. Okay, questions have come from Ajanta caves, and also the questions have come from these paintings where it has talked about the Jataka tales and the life of Buddha, and it's a fine example from Gupta period art. Okay, we'll see these also in detail, but right now we are just concentrating on Buddha's related to the art and architecture. Okay, Buddhism. Ellora caves in Maharashtra. Buddhist caves are among earliest caves, that is 1 to 12. Biharas and Chaityas again will have with large sculptural panels. Later caves show transition into Hindu and Jain architecture. Karle Chaitya that we have already seen. Period is 1st century Common Era. One of the largest and best preserved Chaityas till now. Features tall columns, stupa at the end of the carved facade and sponsored by merchant guilds. Okay, so merchant guilds sponsored them. As I told you guys that these Buddhist monks, they used to stay for 4 months at a particular place, so this merchant guild sponsored to make this. Okay, and then we have Dhyan Katka in Amravati region in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, capital of the Satavahanas, later ruled by the Ikshvakus. Prominent center of Mahayana Buddhism. Till now whatever we have seen, it's related to Mahayana Buddhism. Associated with Nagarjuna, he was a key Mahayana philosopher. Site of a last stupa in Amravati Stupa, and rich sculpture remains showing Buddha's life and Mahayana symbols. So guys, these were few of the important information related to the Buddhist art and architecture. We'll see some of the questions over here which have come. So one question which came in 2013, and it's talking about the term Panchayatan. When you see Panchayatan, it's talking about 5. Okay, Panch means 5 in Hindi. Okay, so why am I drawing this? So the right answer over here will be a style of temple construction. Okay, and this there will be 4 subsidiary shrines, and there will be 1 main shrine. So this is 1 main shrine and 4 subsidiary shrines. Okay, Panch, and this was common in Hindu and Buddhist temple architecture. Okay, then in 2014 we have a question guys, with reference to art and archaeological history of India, which one among the following was made earliest? Okay, so for this obviously you need to know the dates of all, so we'll not waste any time. Guys, you can do one thing, that you pause the video when I am showing the question. Pause the video, try to answer it in the comment section. If you are right, then that's very good. If you are wrong, it will force your mind to think about it, to take the right answer. So that is the right way if you really want to prepare. So try commenting the answer. Right now pause the video. I have showed this question. Pause the video, try answering. Okay, because we are not live now, so I have to do it early. Anyways, so let's see. Stup is a mound-like structure constructed to venerate the relics of Buddha. Okay, Stup was called Chaitya in the proof with this spirit. No, Stup was different and Chaitya was different. The relics of Buddha were placed in Mahaparinirvana Sutta. No, we have no such information. Okay, so what should be the right answer? The right answer is A, 1 only. Okay, moving ahead. Pause the video and try answering. UPSC Prelims 2019 question. Straightforward. There is nothing. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Sthanakwasi related to Jainism. Sthanakwasi is related to Jainism. Okay, let's move ahead. Prelims 2012, the Ajanta caves were built during the period. Obviously again, if you know, it's straightforward, nothing to think about it. Gupta's is the correct answer over here. Okay, now which of the following statement regarding the great stupa at Sanchi is or are correct? It was originally commissioned by Emperor Ashoka. Okay, we have read about this. The gateways torans were added during the Satavahan period. Okay, we also saw this. The stup depicts scenes from the life of Buddha in an iconic form. Now I said you that iconic, or before, at that time iconic form were not used, rather symbolism were used. Okay, so the right answer should be A, 1 and 2 only. Early Buddhist art was an iconic, rather you can say it was symbolism. Okay, and no human form. You will have Bodhi tree, you will have whale, you will have lotus, you will have footprints, but you will not have a human form. Okay, So guys, that's it from our side. We'll meet again for another art and culture class. If you do like the video and share it. We'll meet again. Keep preparing for success, guys, because that's what you deserve. Take care.